The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
I want to tell you a story from my holidays. So when I was in Istanbul, incredible city. If you haven't been there,
No, I heard a lot about it, Nat.
so good.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
never thought about going there until recently when people saying it's amazing.
So great. Like it is just...
Why?
So the history so it's been conquered by everybody. So it's got... The history is just layers upon layers, and it's just beautiful. And, of course, it's right on the water. So there's the Bosphorus Strait is what splits Asia and Europe. So half the city is in Europe and half the city's in Asia. So the influences on it are incredible. So it's just a very rich culture. Ancient city, like there's a lot going on, and it's just vibrant and fun. It's a really fun town. So one of the things I did upon a recommendation of a friend here who said, do this food tour because it's amazing. So I did this food tour. I signed up for it. I rock up. I'm the only person on the food tour. It's me and the guide. And so then it was just like, it's just two friends going out for dinner, basically.
That's a date.
She was a delight. Her name was Bashak. And she took me all around this little neighbourhood, and we went to rooftop bars and little, like, funny little bakeries, places you'd never go on your own because you wouldn't know to find it, right?
Yeah.
So I had a great time, and she asked me what else I'd done, and I said, this morning I went to a neighbourhood called Balat, and Balat's famous because it's really colourful. So they have a lot of the houses are all painted different colours. There's like when there's steps up, they paint them all different colours, and there's lots of street art and flowers everywhere. It's really beautiful. So lots of people go there because the photos are incredible, right? And she said, "Oh, that's where I live." And then she told me that if you Google colourful houses of Balat, the pin that Google Maps have put is her front door. So, and I just looked at it before. It's like, it's not quite her front door because the pin's there. Look at this. The pin's there.
The pin's right there.
The green one is her house. So, of course, what that means is that everyone with a phone turns up to her front door and starts taking photos.
Of course they do.
So, because and it is one of those places that is frequented by influencers and stuff, because there's so many beautiful little photo spots. When you get there's a queue for them. So there's one that's got all these beautiful upside down umbrellas, and it's really brightly painted and it's really gorgeous. And there was literally a queue across the street to get in there and and take a photo.
That is amazing.
The magic of the moment's lost somewhat when you see how many people are waiting to take the same snap.
When our friends, they end up going up to Ubud one day when I was in Bali, and they went to one of those waterfalls, and it was just a massive line, like 50-metre line of people just waiting to do their Instagram photos.
Exactly same photo in front of the waterfall.
If your place is pinpointed...
and this is just her front door. This is where she lives. It's not like she hasn't painted it that colour. The house was just that colour. Yeah. And so, her address is where everybody goes for their first stop to look at the colourful houses of Balat.
I always think about the Google, because you see the Google car every now and then. And
that's right.
And it's a weird thing when you see it, you go, oh, okay, that's how it all comes up.
Moment in time, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. And that moment in time might be... Well, you just talked about the front door, right?
Yes,
so that gives
it could be your front door where they go, this is, if you want to go and see the colourful houses of this neighbourhood, go here. And it's like, oh, now I just live here. And now there's a whole stream of people coming past to take a photo all the time.
But it might be you just walking down the street.
Yeah, there's a great one I saw not long ago of a girl who, she said the worst thing happened when the Google car went past, because she was leaving her house and she had the Ring, those Ring camera, doorbell camera things. Yep. She had the footage of it. So she's walking down the driveway, and she falls over, and then she flashes up the Google Street image, and it's her literally sprawled on her driveway. I like the people that are smart enough that when they see the Google car, they drop their pants or something, forever. When you look at their address, that's what you see. So there was a marketplace scam going.
Yeah.
Where they were offering really cheap DJ decks.
Okay.
And so when you followed up on that and said that you wanted to buy them, you were told to go to an address in Calabarin, which is like a 5-hour return trip. Yeah, it's in the wheat belt. And when you got there, on the door, it says, there's a note that says, there's no marketplace item here. Our address has been used as part of a scam. So these people were getting people knocking on their door, and they were telling them to go to get there at 8 a.m. in the morning as well. So they were leaving Perth at 5:30 in the morning to get to Calaberan, knocking on a random's door, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know what you're talking about." So everybody's a victim there.
Oh, that's your house is on the map for that reason.
And that's a really wrong reason, and they'd had enough and they'd snapped. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, we've got Andrea in Bibra Lake. Hi, Andrea.
Hello, how are you?
Good. We are talking about Google or something else putting you on the map. Could be you or your house.
Yeah.
What happened?
A bit before Google, we bought a chapel in England that we converted into a house. Now, right up until the very weekend before we got it, it was still being used regularly for services.
Yeah.
So this chapel is in the middle of a tiny village, okay? But the actual church for the village was about a mile outside. Because it was so cold in the actual church, which was made of stone and 14th century, they would have the winter services in the chapel, which was brick and only Victorian, with a bit more heating. So anyway, we moved in and we're converting our house into a chapel. It's still a fully fledged chapel at this point.
Yeah.
We moved in. We were working in the garden one morning on a Sunday, and we notice a crowd starts to form outside the house. And I'm looking at my husband going, "What are they doing?" And he's like, "I don't know." And so we sort of try and make a bit of eye contact, but no one's looking at us. They're all too busy having their own conversations.
Yeah.
And then one of them decides to lead the way up to the front door, which is a big old traditional door with a big metal key that's about 6 to 8 inches long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we're here for the christening." And I'm like, "This is a house?" And they said, "What do you mean it's a house? This is the church, isn't it?" I'm like, no, the church is that way, about a mile outside the village. And they're like, about 20 people stand there and then run and jump in their cars.
That's amazing. I would have dunked the baby in the bath just for a little bit of fun. But yes, that's...
They did it for... That happened to us 2 or 3 times, actually. In the
I can imagine. Yeah, especially if the church is like well out of the village as well. It's like, well, it's got to be this one. It's right here.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing that you lived in a church too.
Yeah, Andrea.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So the church themselves put it up for sale?
Yeah, it was actually owned by an organisation called the Mosley Foundation, who had lent it to the village parish or whatever.
Yeah.
So Oswald Mosley, the black shirt, had built it as a gift to the village back in the 1800s.
Wow. Amazing.
Old and old. And
was it easy to convert it to a house?
we actually sold his plans to convert, but when we got the plans and when we moved in, we didn't move in yet, the plans were actually unworkable because there were these big windows with a lintel across them in the side, and they'd put the floor at some random place across the windows that didn't work, and when you actually put a floor in, the beams would hit you in the chest. So we actually had to get all the beams raised by a couple of metre or two as well. Which
sounds expensive.
Yeah, it does.
It was good. It was brilliant. Didn't want to leave it, but then we immigrated.
One more question. Did you feel any holiness inside the living
Holy
quarters?
Spirit?
Or was it a little bit scary with stuff going on?
Yes, absolutely. I was in my sort of early 30s at the time, and I was terrified being there on my own in the night. Until I had kids, actually, and then the kids suddenly made me become very protective, and I was scared of nothing anymore.
Yeah, right. I'd be scared I'd be struck down by lightning, obviously.
Well, we had a spire, actually. It was a chapel, but it had a big spire. And one day my husband was like, we need to put a lightning conductor on because if there's ever a storm and, we need a lightning conductor. So we literally put our own lightning conductor up and up the ladder, up the fire, and I'm standing there holding the ladder.
It's God's will. What happens next?
Yeah, exactly.
Good idea, Andrew. Thank you. How interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, Andrew.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Well, there's parties on the East Coast at the moment because some lucky person or well-thought-out person has revived an old Australian iconic business. Ansett Airlines now.
Ansett. So
we know it.
They haven't revived the airline.
No,
I'd say, but they've jumped on the trademark essentially.
They've stolen the trademark.
it
had expired, and someone's just sitting there waiting for the opportunity to steal this.
Who are these people that do this?
I don't know, but it's ingenious. Now it's going to be an AI-generated travel agency. So that'll work brilliantly. I mean, because it's already got a name that's been out there for a million years, particularly with older people.
Yeah, that's true. And they're more likely to want to use a travel agent as well. So, yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Now, Ansett Airways, for everybody who didn't know, were founded in 1935. And they were equal to Qantas, if not sometimes bigger. Because I only knew that I flew all the time with Ansett.
Did they sponsor the AFL?
AFL?
Yes.
And to me, they were everything. So their planes were great, big Australian flag on it, the whole lot, blue, the colours.
Yes, Bob Ansett was at the helm of it. So it was actually named after him, which is pretty funny that you name an airline after yourself. Ansett collapsed the week that I was due to go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So this is it. That was in 2001. And 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened, and then Ansett collapsed almost immediately. And then I got on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they're like, we're having real difficulty getting you on a plane, because you'd be selected like on the Wednesday or Thursday, and you'd have to be there for the following Monday. Yeah, so they said, we're having real trouble. And they got me on a red eye. And so I just went to the airport and hung around the Qantas desk until they could get me on an earlier flight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a very contentious time.
Oh, big time. You know why? Because they employed 16,000 Australians. Like, that was one of the biggest businesses in Oz at the time. And the government, in a lot of respects over the journey, have rescued big
other airlines
like
across, especially if they're providing essential services. Like if they're the only carrier, the government has stepped in a lot, but they didn't for Bob Ansett. Must have upset somebody.
He must have really pissed him off.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to hear an old ad from them advertising Perth in particular?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a listen.
1978.
Right,
okay, here we go.
Strap yourself in.
Enjoy a whole new world of Australian holiday experiences. 30% off tropical island airfares. Save 30% off your airfare to Perth. Enjoy 8 days with excellent twin-share accommodation, including unlimited coach tours and return economy airfares from $334 per person.
$334 got you airfares, 8 nights, accommodation,
unlimited coach tours.
Where coach tours
are you going?
Is this why they went under?
Oh, no doubt. There's no value in that for them.
Maybe that was really expensive at the time. What year? 1978. Yeah.
Bloody hell, mate. The Golden Wings, right? The Golden Wings was the frequent flyer program, and every time, so early days when I was playing at the Dockers, there's no rules on drinking after a match.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So as soon as we're over in Melbourne, we've, played someone, and then they get in the bus and off you go. Straight in the Melbourne airport, I'd have
unlimited coach tours.
I'd go to Hungry Jack's and nail a Whopper, and then I'd go straight into the Golden Wing Lounge, and I would drink as much as possible.
Well, the other thing is, when it collapsed, everybody lost their frequent flyer points. How many did you have?
I had hundreds, thousands.
Yes.
My mate Hornet, previously, he... and I'm talking like 6 months early, he paid this one-off fee that you could be a Golden Wings member for life and at the top level, right, for life. And he went...
They knew that was like those people that bought lifetime memberships to Laurie Potter's health club.
Yeah, they went down.
And they went under about a week later, so that was their last-ditch cash grab, I think. Oh,
the great Hornet.
Good times. Ansett, she's back, sort of.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, yesterday when we were talking to Joel Creasy, I brought up the fact that Australians, there's $116 million outstanding at the moment. People haven't claimed through Lotto.
Yes.
Enormous amount of money. And there's a West Australian who's won Lotto overnight. But can you imagine, right? So you always think about the things you'd buy if you won Lotto, and a boat's on there somewhere along the line.
Not for me.
Okay. Anywhere.
No, I wouldn't buy a boat, but I like to have a friend with a boat. I might rent. I'll rent a boat for a day. I don't want that. It's a lot of hassle to have a boat, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And you got to think about Bill Gates, who's looking to sell his boat. It's $645 million. They're going to have it at a Monaco boat show. Of course you would. It's the biggest one, 118 metres now, so that's 300-something feet.
See, where do you put that? You can't put it in your driveway, can you? Do you know, how big's the trailer, Shaun?
How big's the trailer? That is a great... It has to be at least dual axle.
Yeah. I mean, what do you tow it with?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Is your BT50 going to be able to tow that?
Oh, I'd say so. It's got a lot of power. It's got, I think it's got 15 cabins, so it can house like 30 people. But then it's got 45 staff, and apparently on there it has its own little hospital. Of course, it has pools on.
What's happening on there that you need
levels.
a hospital?
And inside the boat, which is about 4 or 5 levels, the main house, if you like, there's like a townhouse in there that's 4 levels itself, which is the Bill and whoever he's hanging out with. That's his type of house. Yeah. He's got a house inside a boat.
Yes, so I've just come back from the Greek islands.
Yeah.
Oh, what a wanker. And we did a little boat tour on one of the days off the island of Paros, and there's a lot of glamorous boats in the region, right? Because it's the season for it. We saw this monster. I just showed you a picture of it. How big was it? It was huge. And I've just Googled who owns it. It's owned by Indian steel magnate billionaire Lakshmi Mittal. The yacht is called the Alaya, and it's only how long was his?
118 metres.
Yeah, it was just 111.
Oh!
So it's up there. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? That's a lot of yacht. So, and we were just looking at it because you see the other luxury boats and you go, oh, that looks really impressive. And then you sort of scan the horizon. It's like, oh my God.
It's a ship.
It looked like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And all you could see was just the staff polishing everything frantically. Everywhere you look, there were staff polishing things.
Yeah, I'm led to believe most of these people actually don't go on them.
No.
Maybe once a year they get on these boats. But the boats have got to keep moving. They stay in the water and they have to be schmick by everybody who works on them.
Just because the owner might turn up at any moment. What a life. We're going to have to win Lotto a few times if we're going to buy Bill Gates' yacht, though, Sean. Or do you want us all to go in?
Can we, do you reckon you can get a loan?
$650 is US dollars too, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about $1 billion.
Yeah, about $1 billion.
Ring Gina. Gina will go in with us.
She'll be on it. Win some friends.
All right, we can dream, okay?
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.